Right now, in cities all across the globe, people are sitting down in quiet rooms, listening to the steady beat of a drum, and having these, well, life-changing experiences. They feel like they're connecting with the cosmos itself. But what if that cosmic connection is actually just brain chemistry? Today, we're diving into the world of the modern shaman to figure out if the universe is really speaking to us, or if maybe, just maybe, we're just talking to ourselves.
This is really the heart of the matter, isn't it? On one side, you've got these incredibly personal, profound stories of spiritual awakening, and on the other, you have neuroscience literally mapping the brain activity that creates these states. So are these two things at war with each other, or could they possibly be two sides of the very same coin? To help us navigate this, we're going to turn to the philosopher Alan Watts. He had this amazing way of looking at things, a belief that some questions aren't really meant to be solved, but just embraced. This idea right here, that the universe is an endless mystery to itself, feels like the perfect place for us to start. Okay, so first things first, let's look at the experience itself, the shaman's call, this deep feeling of a cosmic connection. It's fascinating. In the middle of our bustling modern cities, people are turning to these adapted ancient practices. Now, they're not necessarily part of some ancient tribe, but they feel this distinct pull, a call to connect with something way bigger than their day-to-day lives.
So, what does a modern shamanic journey actually involve? What does it feel like? Let's break it down from the perspective of someone who's actually doing it.
First off, let's be clear about what we mean by modern shamanism. We're not talking about the super intense, culturally specific practices of traditional shamans. This modern form, it takes the core idea, like a guided spiritual journey, and makes it accessible to pretty much anyone, sometimes through a weekend workshop or even just a guided audio track you can listen to at home.
The process itself is surprisingly simple. It basically starts with finding a quiet spot and using some kind of rhythmic sound, usually drumming, to help quiet down that chattering conscious mind. Then you set a simple intention, maybe a question you have or a purpose for the journey. And then, and this is the most crucial part, you just let go. You trust whatever comes up.
And what people report is, well, it's often profound. They describe these vivid visions of what they call spirit animals, or this overwhelming feeling of being one with everything, of cosmic unity. They talk about receiving messages or insights that feel like they're coming from somewhere else, from some wise external source. This is the core of that cosmic connection argument.
Okay, now let's put a pin in that for a second and shift gears completely. Because while these experiences feel totally cosmic, neuroscientists have been looking inside the brain for a biological explanation. Let's see what they found. And right here, you can see the two completely different languages used to describe the exact same event. On one side, you have the spiritual language, cosmic messages, spirit guides. On the other, you have the neurological explanation. That feeling of cosmic unity? Science says, that's your parietal cortex deactivating. That's the part of your brain that tells you where you end and the rest of the world begins. Receiving messages from a spirit guide? That lines up with changes in the default mode network, which is like our brain's internal daydreaming and self-reflection system. It's the same phenomenon, just described in two totally different ways. Let's get even more specific. That drumming we talked about, it often uses a rhythm that's between 4 and 7 hertz. Now, research shows this specific frequency helps push the brain into what's called a theta state. And this isn't just random noise. That's the brainwave state we're in right on the edge of sleep. That space that's ripe for deep meditation, vivid dreams, and those sudden aha moments. And hey, there are real tangible benefits to this stuff. Look at the data. Studies show these rituals can lead to a major drop in cortisol, which is the body's main stress hormone. So it doesn't really matter where you think the visions are coming from. The practice itself is biologically calming. That's a fact. So, we've got the spiritual experience on one hand and the hard neuroscience on the other. Do we really have to choose between them? Well, not according to Alan Watts. He offers us a kind of third way, a synthesis that allows both to be true at the same time. This right here is the key. Watts believed that real power doesn't come from grabbing control, but from letting it go, from surrendering. And a shamanic journey is the perfect example of that, right? The person gives up conscious control, they trust the rhythm, and in that act of surrender, this incredibly powerful experience just emerges. I love this quote because it's so true and, well, funny. Watts argued that we should trust our own nervous system, our body's deep, innate intelligence. He'd say the insights you get from a shamanic journey are just like hiccups. They just pop up from some deeper part of you when you finally stop trying to force them. And this brings us to the real breakthrough idea from Watts. It's not a conflict. It's not cosmos versus brain. What if it's cosmos and brain? From this point of view, cosmic intelligence isn't some separate thing out there. It's expressing itself through our brain chemistry. The theta waves, the deactivated brain regions, they aren't disproving the spiritual experience. They might just be the very mechanism by which it happens. So let's bring this all home. Inspired by Watts and these modern practices, we can actually start to experiment with this idea of flow and connection in our own lives. So how can you explore this yourself? You could start small. Try a short, 15-minute guided journey with some drumming audio online. Or you could create your own simple urban ritual, maybe just finding a quiet moment in a park. I love this idea of a stellar pause, just taking 5 minutes to hold an object that's meaningful to you and feel your connection to the world around you. But whatever you try, these last 2 steps are key. Journal what you experience without judging it, and above all, like Watts would say, just trust the process. And really, this invitation extends to you. Think about it. Maybe it wasn't some formal journey, but have you ever been so lost in an activity, playing music maybe, or going for a run, or creating something, that your sense of self just kind of melted away? That's a state of flow. How has that kind of connection already shown up in your own life? And we'll end on this powerful idea from Watts. Maybe this whole debate between science and spirit kind of misses the point. Whether you call it brain waves or cosmic waves, perhaps the path to feeling that connection is actually just a single, simple, and incredibly profound act: trust.
Speaking of trust, we've created something special for you right here on our channel. We now have a dedicated meditation playlist designed to help you experience these profound states we've been talking about. In the description below, you'll find a direct link to a 15-minute tribal drumming track that uses the exact 4 to 7 hertz frequency we discussed. That scientifically proven rhythm that guides your brain into the theta state, right on the edge of sleep, where meditation, vivid dreams, and those sudden breakthrough moments naturally occur. This isn't just background noise. This is the same frequency that modern shamans use to help quiet that chattering conscious mind and open the door to deeper experiences. Whether you're looking to reduce your cortisol levels, experience that sense of cosmic unity, or simply find a moment of profound calm in your busy day, this drumming track provides the exact neurological pathway that research shows leads to those life-changing experiences we've been exploring. You can use it for guided spiritual journeys, deep meditation sessions, or even just as a tool to help you surrender control and trust whatever insights want to emerge from your own nervous system. Remember, as Alan Watts would say, the most powerful experiences often come not from forcing them, but from simply letting go and trusting the process. So grab some headphones, find that quiet spot, set your intention, and let those ancient rhythms guide you into your own exploration of where science meets spirit. The link is waiting for you in the description. Your journey into the theta state is just one click away.
Thanks for joining us.